Minister Singh would have just presented the budget with over $550 billion. Included in it is a major allocation for your ministry. Tell me how confident you are with that your ministry will execute on the projects given the sizable amount.
Well, I'm absolutely confident, and you can just judge us on our track record. Let me first of all, commend the budget that we just heard. Certainly, there are lots for every sector, but just look at the overarching theme, and that is creating opportunities for persons to earn, creating opportunities for persons to expand their level of lifestyle and their way of living. So in terms of the housing and water sector, I'm particularly pleased because what this does is allow us to keep to our commitment. And that too, you will understand what we've committed to the people of Guyana, you're seeing all of that manifesting itself. And so we've committed that, for example, in the area of housing, is that we create more house lots available, more homes, construction of homes, but then also about affordable housing. And this sometimes we don't talk about how this is done. So you have the announcement, for example, they increased from the low-income ceiling from $12 million to $15 million. So that's an increase of $3 million. What that does is allows more available for persons to be able to borrow on the same low interest rate. Then it has a lot of spin-off effects. You also have to enable the sector. For example, the removal in terms of the withholding tax with the 2% for that is being charged for the contractor service. So that's more available in disposable for contractors. You have, for example, to encourage the sector, the trucks, to encourage the importation of trucks within a particular ceiling so that you can have that more persons to be able to avail. Of course, in other sectors, you have the cranes, etc. I'm trying to focus outside of the usual. Yes, we have money available for infrastructure, and that is to continue our program or allocation exercises to make available lots and homes for persons who are awaiting. So this, certainly we have a lot ahead to be looking forward to. We have our titling program that is for certificate of titles and transports, and that is to signal complete home ownership for new homeowners. And so we've actually targeted at least about 400% more than what we achieved last year. So there's a lot in store for persons in the housing sector. One can look forward by the end of this year. We are targeting, as I announced this earlier, that we are targeting at least another 15,000. You've heard the minister mention we've done 10,063. So by the end of December 2022, our intention is to be midway to our overall target of 50,000 allocation. More houses will continue to be constructed to cater for every sector, for low income, moderate sector, young professionals. We have more houses that are coming on stream to be constructed. So infrastructure works will continue to make of those areas available. With the infrastructure works, you have the roads, drainage, electricity, and of course must have water. Then in terms of water, you see there have always been complaints here on the coastline in terms of the quality of water that's being delivered, and that is because of the coverage of treated water. On the coastline now, we have about 55% only the received treated water. And so we are starting investment to have more treatment plants, or even the existing plants to have treatment being done. And so that will commence immediately. We have an overall target and plan that we're working with, and that is a 2021-2025 strategic plan by GWI. What that does is also to look in terms of first-time access and increased coverage. So from this budget alone, this investment, we will increase our currently about 96% of the coastline benefit from water rich access. We'll increase it by another 2% to 98%. In the hinterland, we will move that from 55% to about 70%. So a great increase already for population access in the hinterland for water. So you'll find more wells that are being catered for in the hinterland as well as the coastline. In addition to that, is also about our level of service that is being delivered. So for example, some areas in Georgia, we can't increase the pressure because the pipe system is old. So we have a major project this year that will see the removal of the old pipe system from Shelter Belt that goes all the way to Water Street. That's along Church Street. As part of last year, you would have seen the project from the Square Revolution to about Mandela. So we've completed that. So these are some of the programs we have in place. In terms of water too, is all work towards continuing reducing our non-revenue water, as well as to reduce the amount of leakages in the system. So our metering program will continue. We'll have much more meters being purchased and placed within the system. What it allows us to do is be able to have for measurement of water. When you find that water is being measured when a household receives it, then it disencourages wastage. And so that is one of the targeted area we also have for the water sector. So certainly I'm particularly pleased with our budget that we've gotten so far. And so there's a lot of work ahead, but for the beneficiaries, the persons who are in the system are waiting for their house lot, certainly they can expect to be many, can be thousands, can be expected to be dealt with this year.
That's phenomenal news, Minister. I may be prying a bit, but could you disclose some of the areas that we can see new housing developments in this year?
Sure. So we have about over a dozen exercises that we will have, Dream Realize land allocation exercises. So our reach this year will see us in the Ornock community in Region 1, for example. In Region 2, Region 2 we've done quite a bit over the last year, so we'll just have the infrastructure work for Region 2. We have already done allocation exercises. Region 3, there are a number of communities over on the west coast of Demerara that will have both housing and allocations. I'm staying away from giving you the exact areas for some. On the East Bank, or for example, Great Diamond, Little Diamond, we'll have continued work there, as well as East Coast for LBI, for example, and other areas on the East Coast. Region 5, we continue, we have, in both parts of Region 5. So you have the further end of Region 5, we'll have an allocation exercise, and then we have to also have this way. We're targeting or hoping to have an area called Burma, for example, and then on the other end, we're closer to Blairmont where we've done the exercises. Region 6, certainly, we're going to have more allocation exercises for Region 6. A long time we haven't done any allocation exercise for Region 7. So Bartica is certainly on our cards for this year. Region 9, well, we've done quite a bit for in the Letem area, so allocation, new areas in forms of allocation, not targeted, but infrastructure work is targeted, where we allocated last year, and that's for an area called Port Bridge. Then Region 10, certainly Amelia's Ward community, we will continue, we'll have much more work there. We're constructing the houses. We have a program for a number of houses in the Amelia Wards community, and that will continue. So it's quite a bit of spread. And so persons who are awaiting allocation certainly can be rest assured that at least 15,000 will be dealt with this year.
Minister, will we be seeing the next Dream Realized initiative in at least the first quarter of the year?
As early as next month, you'll have the next Dream Realized. You'll come to realize by now the Ministry of Housing and Water is a pretty busy ministry, and by the nature of our ministry too, it's obviously people-centered, and so we have people who have needs, and then we have to respond. So as soon as we finish with our budget process, and which will take us obviously into another 2 weeks, so by the middle of February, you can have our first Dream Realized activity.
Thank you very much, Minister.
Thank you very much.